Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Here to talk about men's basketball with head coach Todd Eisner, and I guess I'll let you pick. Which game do you want to talk about first, the Southwest game or the Sioux Falls game?
Let's go ugly and start to the start and then finish with a positive.
Okay, sounds good. So let's talk about Southwest then. 75-68 was that game. Your initial thoughts about that one?
Played out, really as we anticipated. They're really good defensively and bothered us. It was a hard night for us offensively. We really struggled to get a lot of clean looks. They took us out of our comfort level, and I didn't like the way we reacted to it overall. But they had a lot to do with that, and they're just a bigger and a physical team. And then, you counter that with the fact that we didn't defend very well either. And so you put those two pieces together, and it usually leads to some bad things. I thought we did a great job of getting back into the game. We were down 14 or 16 early in the second half, and rallied to cut it to 2 with, I think, 7 minutes to go. And then whether we just ran out of gas or lost a little focus, they scored on 8 of their next 11 possessions, and that was basically the end of the game. So tough way to start a home weekend, but Southwest on that day was the better team, and we got to figure out a way the next time we see them to be the better team when we go to Marshall. All
right. So what did you learn about your team in that game?
Well, again, it wasn't terribly surprising. We knew how they like to play, which is grind out possessions and execute at a pretty high level offensively, but more importantly, just really, really try to take you out of what you do and make you uncomfortable when you have the ball, and they succeeded. And so, like I said, offensively, we've got to do a better job as we prep for them when we see them again in the second half of the year to give ourselves a better chance on the offensive end of the floor. But at the end of the day, when you let a team shoot 52% and knock down, I think it was 10 threes, you're asking for trouble. So, I guess to kind of jump a little bit ahead, Justin, to answer your question, I found out a little bit about our guys. Again, not really surprising, but their bounce back ability was really good on Saturday. So I was really pleased heading into Saturday that they brought a good approach to shoot around, and were rewarded with a good win on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of different performances we can talk about from Saturday. One that I want to at least start out with was Carson Arns, because his first collegiate double-double, first time that he got double digits in rebounds. So overall, a really good game for him.
Yeah, he was tremendous, and Carson's just been really solid for us. He doesn't kind of get out of himself very often. He knows what he's capable of doing. He knows what he brings to the table for us. He's a very intelligent player. He's a tough player. He knows how to play, and then he just plays to his skill level, and it's been very impactful for us. He was really good Saturday night, as you mentioned, 12 points and 12 rebounds. Made his free throws, 6 of 6 from the line, so he's done a great job of getting to the line and then also knocking those down and knocked down a couple threes. So, he was tremendous on Saturday night for us.
All right, and then our guest today, Connor Dillon, 33 points in that game as well. Talk about his performance.
Yeah, really good second half. I'm the perfectionist, and he gets tired of me, screaming at him for trying to get more and more things done because we're asking a lot out of him, but he probably should have had 40. He missed a couple of easy ones in the first half, but I thought he really stayed with it, mentally as much as physically. Got to the rim and finished plays, made a couple threes in the second half. He was 3 of 8 from the 3, which was great to see, but just scored it at a really high level and really was the difference in the second half for us.
Yeah, and speaking of that second half, you didn't trail at all in the second half, so Sioux Falls really never got back into the game. I think that kind of talks to the way that your team played in that second game.
Yeah, we talked to our guys. I thought, it was going to be a game because they were coming off a tough loss the night before. We were obviously coming off a tough loss, and somebody was going to go home 0-2, for the weekend. And so it was going to be a lot of want to in that game on Saturday. And I thought both teams played with a little bit of a hangover in the first half. I mean, it was 38-34. I think we were up 4 at the half, and I didn't think it was very aesthetically pleasing for either team, to be real honest with you. And but I thought our guys really stepped it up in the second half and kind of imposed our will on Sioux Falls. Anytime you can play a Sioux Falls team and out-rebound them by 18 and only allow 4 offensive rebounds, while you're guarding at a high level, I think you're doing some good things there. And then we shot it at a really high level in the second half too. So it was a really good last 20 minutes, and it put us in a position to get a split on the weekend.
All right, we have to talk about some of the injury situation, because I was surprised to see that Brock Voigt came back for the Southwest game. So that was a positive for you to be able to get him back.
Yeah, I really needed him too. I mean, it was a very physical weekend. We got some more guys banged up because of it, but that's just the NSIC. It's a college basketball is a physical game, and our guys took a little bit of the brunt of it. But to have Brock back, I mean, he really toughed through it. So his injury is going to be a pain tolerance injury. I don't think he can make it worse. But boy, every time he gets certain movements going on, I think it feels like he's getting a knife stuck in his shoulder. And so he gutted it out for us, which we needed just from a depth standpoint. And he gives us a dimension that we don't have. He's long, he's bouncy, he's quick bouncy, and he can score near the rim. And yet hit a big three to end the first half. And you know, I joke with him that when he gets ready to shoot a three, he starts it on Monday, and it leaves his hand on Tuesday. It's a slow release, and it doesn't look terribly pleasing, but he knocked it in, and I felt like maybe that was a good omen heading into the second half. But it was good to have him back. You
say gutting it out, and having heard how he got injured in practice, seeing him hit the floor a couple of times this weekend in both of the games, really. Our hearts kind of skipped a beat at the broadcast table. I imagine the same thing with you and the coaches. Yeah,
right now it's with everybody. You know, I mean, we're going to roll people in bubble wrap here, and before we get to Wayne, so that we have some bodies. It's just been one of those years. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. It's got to be a little bit of a next man up mentality, and gives guys opportunities to play that maybe weren't playing either that position or maybe that many minutes. I mean, whatever it may be, but. You know, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. I mean, Concordia St. Paul just beat Wayne State on Sunday without their two best players. You know, Kimmons and Horn sat out the game. So, I mean, you got to find ways to still be successful even when certain people might not be able to play. And I thought Brock being back was good, and then we finished the day with losing another.
Yeah, exactly. So you foreshadowed this weekend Wayne and Augustana, and Wayne is kind of an interesting team because they headed into this weekend undefeated, and then they dropped both of their games this weekend. What do you know about Wayne, and what kind of team are they?
Yeah, Coach Kaminsky's done a great job with that program. They lost some really important pieces in Jordan Jansen and Nate Moore, and then Justin Egan's transferred from Wayne State to Mankato, and so their three most talented players aren't with them, and yet they started out 7-0. And you know, really the same system. They're a little more athletic, probably play a little bit faster on the offensive end of the floor, but still the same system. They're going to press you. They're going to really guard you. They're going to switch everything. They're hard to play against. They beat Southwest at home. So, I mean, obviously we struggled with Southwest. So if you want to do any of those comparable scores, I mean, they beat a team that we just lost to. It'll be a tough challenge for us just with the way they play. And I would expect, knowing Coach Kaminsky, that this week won't be very friendly for them in practice after their tough weekend. And so we're going to get their best shot, and we're going to have to be ready for it.
All right, and then the other end of the weekend, Augustana.
Yeah, I mean, they're just the same. I mean, they're big. They're going to run their stuff. They're going to try to play fast. They got a very good guard in Jaden Graves, who really had a good junior year for him and is having even a better senior year. And then they've got some big pieces on the front line. Which, you know, obviously doesn't match up great for us, but at the end of the day, it's every game for us. So, you know, we're banged up. I think we're going to take 10 guys on the trip. Gavin Hurley's out now with an eye injury from the game on Saturday, but we're going to suit it up and swing away, and I know our guys will go after it.
All right, about 30 seconds left. So what does practice look like this week with so many banged up players?
Banged up and finals. Yeah. So, I mean, we practiced already this morning on Monday at 8 a.m., and because that was the gap that we had, and we kind of mix and match what time we can practice. They're setting up the gym for graduation, so we're in the wellness center. I mean, there's just all sorts of things being thrown at us. We got a couple guys sick, so we literally have 10 guys right now. And but you know, we're going to make do, and we're going to go down there and try to give ourselves a chance to be successful on the road.
All right, thank you, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, we'll talk with Connor Dillon right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Meet Jenny Saseski of Edina Realty. With nearly 30 years' experience, she knows that right now is the best time to sell your home. Jenny will help you get top dollar, higher than ever before. With today's low interest rates, it's time to upgrade your home and increase its value. High demand and low inventory also make this a perfect time to list your home. Call for a free market analysis. Contact Jenny Soseski at Edina Realty today, 507-458-7038.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Connor Dillon joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
So you heard what Coach had to talk about the physical nature of the NSIC, and obviously you went through that this weekend, your whole career here at Winona State. Your thoughts on how physical the play is and how things have gone this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good test for us for the first weekend, back-to-back games. So, I mean, majority of us starters kind of knew what it takes. Started off kind of slow in the Southwest game, but luckily had a nice bounce-back win against Sioux Falls.
All right. Coach Eisner said that a lot has been put on your shoulders to kind of carry this team with the injuries and with everything that's been going on, and you've produced so far. You've had 20-plus points in all but the Southwest game. How do you feel you've performed this year?
I feel like I played all right. I'd like to be a little bit more efficient. Just got to stay confident with myself and trust my work and just continue to put in work throughout the week and go into the game knowing that I could be one of the best players on the court.
All right, 33 points against Sioux Falls. Walk us through that game and how you felt shooting.
It was a slow half for us at first, especially me. I was missing some easy ones, and then I just just stayed confident. Teammates helped me get open a lot easier, and then just trusted my work as well and just started knocking down shots, which was good to see.
All right, and you kind of got banged up during those 2 games this weekend. How do you deal with that and maybe put that to the back of your mind and continue to produce out on the floor?
Yeah, you just gotta understand like the teams that we were playing. Sioux Falls and Southwest, they're 2 very physical teams, and it's kind of just a next play mentality. If you think about it, past play, it's not going to help you in the future. So just gotta think.
Okay. I'm just going to throw this out here because we're not going to probably see you until later on in the year, if we see you at all at the end of this year. But you're approaching a pretty big milestone for yourself, which would be 1,000 points in your collegiate career. Is that something that you've ever dreamed of, or what were your expectations coming out of high school and playing college basketball?
I never really thought. I mean, it's always a goal for me to have a successful college career. I mean, it's just the role I've been put in here, and I'm extremely grateful for it. Glad to finally be staying healthy these past 2 seasons and hopefully just continue to play well.
So kind of backing up to that, last year you scored over 500 points, so that was by far your best out of the previous 3 years. So what did you do in between the last season and this season to kind of get ready and to kind of build off a 500-point year?
Kind of just worked on myself in the summer, stayed in shape. Went into the weight room a lot, gained a lot of muscle back because after a long season I'm obviously losing a lot of weight and stuff. So just eating the right food and staying in shape is really the main goal for me.
Okay. So this weekend, it's going to be another tough weekend with Wayne and Augustana. Hearing what Coach said about the 2 teams, knowing what you know, what do you do this weekend and how did the Warriors become successful this weekend?
We just got to stay mentally locked in. These 2 games upcoming for us are 2 winnable games for us, but they're also 2 losable games. Wayne's an extremely different team than what we played in the past, but they're still a really good team, and we just got to stay ready. It's a tough place to play in, but our guys will be ready.
Okay, and then with everything that's kind of being thrown at you this week with graduation and having to practice in different areas and not having a lot of guys out on the court, what do you expect as far as getting ready this week for you? Does that throw you off at all?
No, it shouldn't throw us off too much. I mean, we're used to, and we're playing in a different gym. We're not at home anyway, so I mean, different rims, not going to change anything. I'll just continue to go into the gym different times, work out with our assistant coaches, just stay in the gym.
All right, well, good luck this weekend, and thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report, and when we come back, we'll talk women's basketball with head coach Anna Wurtz right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Food, shelter, fast internet. It's all we really need. Good thing HBC has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home, all at once. With speeds like these, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. You want it. You need it. Get it. Call or click hbci.com and upgrade your internet today.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Talking women's basketball now with head coach Anna Wurtz, and we get to talk about a win against Southwest Minnesota State. We'll lead off with that. First, your initial thoughts on that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just feels good. Finally, our girls, could feel the hard work and could reap the benefits of all of that. So very excited to get that one under our belt. Of course, not satisfied, and we've got to protect our home court, so we've got to come away with some 2-win weekends. We're certainly more than capable. Gritting out another one, but Southwest game was just fun. You saw a lot of people step up. I think a lot of faces that maybe people haven't heard about, known about a ton. Like, I'm telling you, we've got a lot of weapons, and I think that you saw that in that game. So a lot more post play. I mean, the matchup was there. That's what we were looking at. I know we talked about it last week. We like to go inside versus Southwest just because they do play smaller, but then you've got to be able to match them on the other end of the floor, and I felt like our post players did pretty good on both sides of the ball there. I mean, Caitlin Shrimp was outstanding defending, and Emma Carpenter starts on her too. I mean, they both did, defending one of the best players in the league in Stoltzman, I think.
Yeah, Stoltzman, yeah.
So we just did an incredible job on her. I know that it's tough if you can go one-on-one with her. We're able to shift more towards their shooters a little bit, and so that was really helpful that we had a couple people that were able to do that.
Well, they were such a dynamic three-point shooting team coming into the game, and you kind of took that away from them a little bit, which had to put a smile on your face too, right?
It sure did. I mean, starting early there, we didn't. I had to figure out, we were doubling the ball a little bit out of character for us. I couldn't figure out what was happening. I was like, that was on the plan, 2 wide open threes to start the game, but adjusted and then just kind of went from there. But yeah, shots started falling, which is really nice when our players could start seeing that.
And one of the things we were talking about last week was trying to get Ava Sergio to kind of break out a little bit, and that happened against Southwest.
It sure did. I was really hopeful, but yeah, she finally kind of just had her moment where people could see what she's capable of. So now it's just stringing together a couple weeks where she is that, and she is. She's that every day in practice. She got the best post coach around in Hannah McGlone. Our post players are incredibly skilled, their footwork and all of that, but we've just been putting the pieces together, and now I think at least people are finally able to see, we've got some post play.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and both teams really subbed in and out a lot in that game, which it was kind of hard to figure out who's on the floor and everything.
It's a matchup game, I said. If you're going to put 5 guards on the floor, we have to decide, are we going to go big and beat that, or are we going to go small and match that? And you're just looking down the bench, or could we go big and match that, which we are capable. We've got, you can put Emma Carpenter at a 4th spot, possibly a 5 spot if we need to. She can guard the biggest player on the floor, and you have Alex Dornfeld, Vivica Breton, so we're able to do some really interesting things with on the defensive end.
Let's talk a little bit about Emma Carpenter, because she's going to be the guest today, but obviously the past 2 years we've seen a lot of great play from her, but what did you see this weekend from Emma?
Yeah, well, with Emma, she's going to create. She's one of the best open floor creators that I've ever seen. And that's where I say with Molly, Casper, Anderson coaching her, there's no surprise there. If she gets the ball on the open floor, I think she's really scary. We obviously had to play her at that first position against Sioux Falls, where she was our first outlet, instead of, I love when she's in that second position, because it's just, if you have her coming downhill at you, she has such great vision and setting up shooters and sees the floor. But yeah, she's just a great floor general that we trust, and she does an awesome job, and she can absolutely shoot it, and I love to see that she's getting more aggressive inside she's got some post game that she's been using a little bit off the bounce, and yeah, she's a very tough matchup for anybody.
All right, and then the other person that you talked about too was Alex Dornfeld, who, as we said, has been battling some injuries this year and just having to gut out performances, and she did in really both games this weekend. Yeah,
that's just it. Just waiting for her to get more comfortable. You sit out for a full month, and now you got to get back. She worked her butt off this summer to get to the place where she was when she got back to school, and then to be told, you're done. I want to say it's 2 months she was out. So she was out for 2 months, and I was just getting back into the flow and getting comfortable again. She had worked on so much, like her footwork defensively, and became one of our best defenders. But now you're kind of got to earn that back and work back towards that, while also needing to limit your reps, because she's not somebody that should be putting a lot more time on her body. We're going into year 5, and so it's just like that juggling act.
Okay, we got to talk a little bit about Sioux Falls, and it shouldn't be kind of a negative. You lost by 4, but you had the lead for a long time in that game.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you thought about the Sioux Falls game.
Yeah, I mean, just looking back, I mean, it was a pretty well played game. I wish I felt a little bit more energy in that game. I just felt like we were flat from like coming in the huddles or sitting on the bench. I just felt like there could be a little bit more of an intensity there. But when you watch the game back, it's like we really gritted it out and played pretty dang hard, especially that second half defensively. We were, in my opinion, I think we're one of the best defensive teams in the league at this point as far as what we're able to cover. And, we were digging the ball out, contested shooters, finished with box outs. A lot of really good things. We just unfortunately weren't finishing plays on the offensive end.
And then you got a huge performance from Olivia Gamoki, maybe a little fire playing against your former team. What did you think about her?
Yeah, I mean, you knew that. She's a gamer. She was going to show up and be ready for that game, if she's ready for every game. But yeah, no, she was outstanding, and got her little pull-up jumper that we struggled so much when we were playing Sioux Falls. I just going through the scouting report, like, oh, how are we going to defend this? Like, you really can't. And so, yeah, it was fun to see her be able to put that on the show.
Okay, Vivica Breton, again, another great performance from her, both games this weekend.
Absolutely. She just plays so hard, guts it out. She's a difference defensively. Hers just a little bit more on the discipline end, but once she picks that up, I mean, she's one of the scariest. Same kind of that Emma Carpenter type, a big guard that can put it on the floor, push it in transition. Like, I just always know who do I not want to play against, and I wouldn't want to play against those two.
Very good. So having seen, what worked against Southwest, what worked and what didn't work against Sioux Falls, can you kind of get a little bit more of a game plan about how you're going to be playing the next few games and try to figure out what moving pieces go where?
As far as the next 2 games with Wayne,
lineups and everything.
I don't know. I don't think we'll change a ton with where we're at that way. I think just this week is just focusing on ourselves. There's not a ton that either team throws out that we gotta really focus on. It's just we have to be good at what we do.
Okay, and what do you know about what they are doing? Wayne State comes in at 500, but they haven't won a conference game. Augustana 1-4 and 1-2. What do you know about those 2 teams?
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar to what they were doing in the past, but they have new people in different roles. So, they both lost their key scorers from last season, and they're playing similar, but I think they're both kind of waiting for other people to step up. I mean, Augie's got a kid that if she's open and anywhere in the gym, she hits it. So that one's for sure. And then another kid that hits Olivia Gamoki type jumpers, which I just got done saying, I'm not sure, but Carpenter is going to be the matchup there. Yeah. Just need a little length to hopefully contest those. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be a fun weekend. Certainly a weekend that we can get something done.
All right, last question then, and we always ask this, but health-wise,
yeah.
How are you guys heading into this weekend?
We'll find out more. Maddie was in a final. I haven't got the word from where she's at with everything. But I think so far, I think we're doing well. We've got a couple with some fevers. I got multiple messages last night, so I don't know what's going on there. Finals week, stress, whatever is happening. So I'm not sure how much we'll get done today. But I think we're all right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for joining us here, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report, and when we come back, we'll talk with Emma Carpenter. That's right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Meet Jenny Siseski of Edina Realty. With nearly 30 years' experience, she knows that right now is the best time to sell your home. Jenny will help you get top dollar, higher than ever before. With today's low interest rates, it's time to upgrade your home and increase its value. High demand and low inventory also make this a perfect time to list your home. Call for a free market analysis. Contact Jenny Siseski at Edina Realty today, 507-458-7038.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Emma Carpenter joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, we didn't get a chance to talk to you last year, your first year here at Winona State, so we always try to find out a little bit more about the players. So we'll go way back to when you were in high school, talk about Eastview, won a state championship.
Yep.
Your coach is a former Winona State player in Molly Casper Anderson.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your high school days and what you remember from those.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Wow, I feel kind of old now, but high school days were, some of the best memories I've ever had. Molly Casper is an amazing coach. I think when I was in the transfer portal, a big reason why I wanted to come to Winona State was because of her and because of, obviously, she played with Coach Wurtz over here. So. Just knowing that they have similar coaching styles and are just great people on and off the court, and they are always gonna want the best for me as a person and a basketball player. So I think that was ultimately a big reason why I decided to come here, and honestly, it was one of the best decisions ever. So, yeah.
All right. Now, I think it was your junior year that you won a state championship. Tell us a little bit about that excitement and what that was like.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the days that I'll never forget. That season was unforgettable. It was with some of my best friends, and I can still remember that day like it was yesterday. It was amazing playing with that team and having that chemistry with those girls. I grew up playing with them, and just having that unity that season is something that I will never forget. So.
All right. Now, as you said, you played your first few years at Minnesota Crookston. You decided to come here to Winona State. For you, how long did it take to kind of, really feel like a Warrior or feel like a part of the team once you transferred?
I mean, I felt like I was a part of the team right away when I stepped on campus. All the girls are amazing and just made me feel right at home. So in terms of that, I would say I felt comfortable right away. On the basketball end of things, it definitely was an adjustment going from playing for a completely different team. It was really nice to be a part of the same conference because once you play the same teams over and over again, you kind of get a feel for the type of competition we have here. So I think last year it took me a little bit just to kind of get into the flow of a different defense, a different offense. But coaches and the girls made it ultimately a smooth transition for me. So.
Okay. You've obviously done a really good job this year. The wins haven't been there, but the fight, the determination, everything have been there. How do you feel that you have played so far this season?
I feel I've played well. I think that I feel more confident this year in just my role and being a leader on the team. I think that I've kind of brought us together on the court in times of when we go through those ups and downs during the games. I feel like I hold that composure within the team. I definitely think I could be better at attacking the rim more and just being more of a threat on offense, but I feel like I've been versatile in terms of playing different positions as well. So.
Okay. Wayne and Augustana are the teams that you play this week. It's on the road. Tell us a little bit about your preparation getting ready for those two games this week.
Yeah, I think we are prepared for any team in this conference. Going into the beginning of the week, we kind of just focus on what can we do better, what did we learn from the past weekend. So I think just looking forward to practice later today and just focusing day to day on what we need to work on for this weekend. So I guess we'll see what Coach has planned for us at practice. But
all right, specifically for you, when you come into a season and you get a couple games into a season, what are some things that are, or how easy is it for you to maybe work on your game and to maybe fix some things if you have anything to fix during a season?
Yeah, I think individually, we all know what we need to get better at, and just putting in those reps during practice, after practice, stuff like that. I think individually, I definitely have a certain type of post move that I've been working on and counters to that post move. So just working on that, and then shooting the ball when I'm open, getting those extra reps. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching the Warrior Report. We'll see you next time here on HBC TV 25.